Hey, good evening. How is everybody tonight? Happy Tuesday. It has been a few days. I was off obviously Friday, Saturday for the Sabbath, and then we went straight into a holiday that started Saturday night when the Sabbath ended. That didn't end until late last night, and by the time it was over, I was going to go live, but it was really late by the time we got cleaned up and the house was back in order after a 3-day, Sabbath, the Sabbath, and then a 2-day holiday, and honestly, I wasn't really in my right mind to hop on here. And so I decided to skip a night, which is the first time that I've skipped a night in quite a while, since probably the beginning of February when I started, made the decision to start going live every day. So it's good to be back. It sort of felt weird to skip a night, but it's good to be back. And I can't wait to hear what you guys are thinking and what's been going on with you the last few days. And I would love to get some feedback from you, thoughts, ideas, processing. I know the last time last week I threw out the idea of doing a Q&A live like this. And I would love to hear that feedback because I think it could be super fun. So if you like the idea of doing a Q&A, just shoot me a thumbs up or let me know. And if you're on, I can see there's a number, but I can't see people. So give me a hashtag live if you're on here live. And if you pick this up in the replay, hit hashtag replay. So that I can know that you were on and listening and get some feedback. So tonight I want to talk to you though about how to get the results in your life that you really, really want, right? We all have these big dreams. We all have these big goals. We set them, right? How many of us set a New Year's resolution, right? January, we set our New Year's resolution and we go for it. And then usually by the middle of January, it's gone. Sometimes we make it till the end of January, right? But we're constantly doing that. We're constantly setting small goals. We're constantly setting things for ourselves and we work towards it for a little while and then we fall off, right? So it's a struggle. It's a struggle for most people. It's definitely a struggle for me. I know I go through this a lot, right? We all have these, ideas of what we want, where we want to head, and staying on that track is difficult. Hey, Alana. And so the key really to the success is focusing on one thing. A lot of times, I don't know about you, but I will pick more than one thing that I'm focusing on. I might want to do this, and I might this, and this, and this, right? And then I'm spreading my energy all over the place. I'm spreading myself too thin, and then I don't get anything done. I can't stick to any one thing because I'm just spread really thin. So the key to all of this is to pick one thing. What is that number one thing that you really, really want to focus on right now, right? Is it your health? Is it your finances? Is it maybe a relationship, right? What is that one thing? And then be prepared to put all of your energy into that one thing, or most of your energy. Obviously, you need some energy into other things, but the majority of your energy into that one thing, right? So let's take health, for instance, right? Because this is physical health. Relationships and finances are all pieces of health too. But physical health, right? When we're talking weight loss, if we put our 100%, all of our energy into that focus, we set a plan, and then that's where we go forward. We make a decision and we go for it, right? We're going to be much more successful than if we say, well, I want to try to get healthy physically, and I'm going to work on my finances, and I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to work on this. We spread ourselves too thin, and our brains go all over the place, and we're not really successful with any of them. I don't know about you, but at least that's what happens for me, right? I can't really give my full attention to all of those things at one time. So I need to focus on one thing. And that's where structural tension comes in. And I've talked about this before. I used my little rubber band, and I don't have a rubber band here with me, or I would give my rubber band example again. But structural tension, right? So what is structural tension? Structural tension is where you know where you are right here at the bottom, right? If you're looking at a structural tension chart, and if you would like a copy of an awesome structural tension chart to create one for yourself, just message me and I can send you one. And this can be used for anything in your life. I do structural tension charts for everything. And I even have my kids doing structural tension charts. I don't call it that, but it's the same kind of thing, right? Where are you today? Where are you right now? What is your current reality? And then at the top of the chart is where do you want to be? So if we're taking health, right? If we're taking weight, I'm throwing out there weight loss, right? you want to lose 50 pounds, right? You want to lose 10 pounds. No, we can say 10 pounds, right? Because it doesn't matter. Your current reality, where you are, what is your current weight? How do you feel in that current reality, right? Why do you want to make a change to that current reality, right? And then at the top, where do you want to be, right? So it might be your current reality, might be your current weight, your current clothing size, right? That you don't have much energy. I'm just going to put words in your mouth because this is how I get, right? Energy might be low. Maybe you get a lot of headaches, right? Maybe you're not drinking enough water, right? Whatever those things are, what is your current reality? And you spell it all out with as much detail as you can possibly spell it out, right? And then at the top, where do you want to be, right? You want to lose 10 pounds. You want to have more energy. You want that favorite pair of jeans or that favorite dress or that favorite whatever to fit again. You want to be able to race your kids and actually not have to fake that you're losing, right? And have to fake that you're losing instead of really lose because you have no energy. And that was my story, right? Right? What are all those things that you want to see happen when you lose those 10 pounds, right? And then the ladder in between is what are those steps that you're going to take to make sure you're there, right? What is your food plan going to look like, right? Not everybody's food plan is identical. And if anybody ever tells you that it is, they're lying to you. No plan. There is no one right plan for everyone, right? Even within my program, we have so many different plans. And even though a lot of people are on very similar plans, I can tell you many of my clients, we end up tweaking things to fit their specific needs, right? So what is your plan? What is your food plan? How often are you eating? What are you eating, right? How does that, and then how much water are you drinking, right? How much water do you need, right? We say water, you should have a minimum of 64 ounces. An adult should have 64 ounces of water, up to half your body weight in ounces. But that's really different for everybody. Again, that's something where we look at each individual person and do they need more? Do they need less, right? How is their body responding to it? So what's your food plan? What's your water plan? What's your exercise plan? Are you doing any exercise, right? All those things go into your steps up to get yourself to that final goal. And then you've got this little arrow. So I posted actually this morning on my Facebook timeline a little meme that says the key to achieving massive results. And then on one side it says pursuing everything, and it's got a circle with energy and all these little arrows coming out. And then, and that's scratched out. And then focusing on one thing with a circle with a line straight up, and it says energy. And that's exactly what we're going to do. That's exactly what you need to do. And that's exactly what that structural tension chart should look like, right? What you want to focus your energy on, where you are right now, though, that energy that's being focused straight up that chart to where you want to go. If you can do that, if you can pick that one thing at a time and focus on it, you're going to get so far. You're going to be able to be successful, and you're going to strive, and you're going to accomplish the things that you want. And then you do one thing at a time, right? So I talk about this a lot with my clients, creating new healthy habits. One small habit at a time. It's the same concept. If we try to bite off too many things all at one time, right? If I were to tell a new client, right, okay, well, we're going to change how you eat, and we're going to change how much water you drink, and we're going to change what you eat, not just how you eat, but what you eat. We're going to change how you sleep, right? We're going to change your exercise. If I say that we're going to do all those things in one day, right, most people are going to go, whoa, and they might stick to it for a few days. They might even stick to it for a week or two. But if after that, they're going to fall off. That's just the reality. When we try to put too much energy into making too many changes or going after too many things all at one time, that's when we fail. So, and not first attempt in learning, but like where it makes it really almost impossible for ourselves, setting ourselves up for lack of success, right? Not even failure, because like I said, failure is first attempt in learning, right? But it's a lack of success. It's setting ourselves up to struggle, right? Where we want to set ourselves up to be able to soar, right? That's our goal, is to set ourselves up to soar. So when we take it one small piece at a time, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes people feel like, oh my gosh, I've got to do it all. I've got to get from point A to point B to point Z, like that, lickety split, right? But that's not the reality. We want to do these things in small steps because that's how it makes long-term change. That's how it makes permanent change for us. one small step. So I challenge you, if you're struggling in a variety of places, right, in a variety of things, take one thing. Focus on one thing at a time. I was actually having a conversation with a good friend of mine today about exactly this. She has a whole lot of things on her plate, and she's really stressed out. And you know what happened? It's the same thing that happens to me. Is she said, I'm just totally frozen. I don't know where to go. I don't know whether to look up, down, left, right, spin around, right? Because I've got so much on my plate. So I said, okay, let's stop. Let's take a step back. Let's pick one thing. What is that one thing first that you're going to do, right? And when we do it one thing like that, first of all, it takes this whole burden off of our shoulders. Okay, I can handle one thing, right? I'll tell you, for those of you who have been following me for a while, know that last year, we were supposed to move. We were supposed to move out of state. And we were clearing out our house, and we were packing up our house, and we were doing all these things. And I'll tell you, that is not my forte. I am not a clearer. I am not a packer. I just am not, okay? That just stresses me out. And I would look around our house, and I would sort of go into this, I don't even know what to do next, right? I don't know if, and it would totally freeze and paralyze me every single time. And that's when I said to my husband, when we were packing up, I said, I can't do this. I know where my headspace is right now. I'm not in a headspace to be able to pack up the house. We need to hire somebody to help us, which we did. They packed us and then they unpacked us. But the truth was there were certain parts of the house that they couldn't do for us, right? They couldn't do for me. And when we were getting our house ready to go on the market, we didn't have somebody come in and do that. We had to do that. And I had to go through and I had to say, okay, instead of looking at the whole house as a whole and let that totally intimidate me, which it did, it really intimidated me. I had to say, okay, I'm going to take one small area, right? First, I'm going to take my bedroom and I'm going to tackle my bedroom and get out all the stuff that I didn't need to have anymore. And I can tell you, right, I had lost 75 pounds and I had clothing in every single size from huge, right, to down to, what I'm wearing now. And I went through every single thing and I boxed it up and I ended up giving away 27 boxes of clothing and stuff. It was mostly clothing, right, from over the years. Everything. I cleared it out. And it was crazy. And people were like, oh my goodness, all this stuff. But the truth is, I had that much stuff stacked away because it always terrified me, right? Looking at it always, and the idea of doing what I did just made me freeze because I looked at all of it as one big picture of, oh my gosh, I have my room. I have my kids' rooms. I have this. I have this. I have this. I have this. And my energy, I was in this ball of energy with all these arrows, that picture, all these arrows going all different directions, and I didn't know where to go. But when I took and said, this is my one goal, here's where I'm going to focus my energy, one way. And then it was done. And then I could move on to the next thing and the next thing. So it isn't, this really fits into every aspect of our life. What is it that you're struggling with? What is super hard to, to focus on, right? And those things that are really hard to focus on are usually things that we need to focus on. But we do one at a time and one small piece at a time, right? Like I said, I took my bedroom, but even when I did within my bedroom, I did that in small chunks. First, I did my closet. Then I did my drawers. Then I write small different pieces so that it wasn't as overwhelming. Find where I'm going to focus that energy and go for it. So hopefully this is really helpful to you. If you are struggling with something, if you're feeling overwhelmed, take a step back, right? Figure out what's your first step and go for one thing at a time. Focus that energy and let yourself soar. Create a structural tension chart. And like I said, if you would like a copy of that structural tension chart, shoot me a message. I will send you a copy of it, but it's easy enough to draw yourself. Like I said, at the bottom, you put in your current reality. At the top, you put in where you want to go. And then in the middle is a ladder climbing up all the things that you need to do to get there, right? So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm here anytime. Have a great night. I will see you back here tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.